everyone and welcome to another Simple Sunday video. Today we're having a blog hop over at Uniko Studio where we are revisiting an old stamp set called Background Builders Round in Circles, and I will be making a fast and simple card using that stamp set today. And I'm starting by cutting a white panel that will be slightly smaller than my card base, and then I'm using my inventory binder to find a stamping that will match the colored cardstock I'm going to use behind the white panel. And the best match seemed to be my weathered wood distress ink, so I'm going to start with that one. And I will be stamping the larger circles from the stamp set across my white panel in the weathered wood distress ink. And I did bring out my mustard seed distress ink as well, since I will be stamping some smaller circles using that ink. And I'm not really thinking too much about where to stamp the images, but I do try to make sure that I get them pretty even across the page. For the smaller circles I am using this stamp set called Time, and in this set there is a cluster of 3 circles that I was going to use, but I was a bit too lazy to mask off the circles I didn't want, so I ended up cutting them out instead. This way I can get more use out of them, and I can use them individually instead. And I also used the sequence stamps from the Gift for You set and stamped these in Shabby Shutter's distress ink. I thought it would look better if I brought in a third color, so I chose a pretty light green tone. To get even more variety of circles, I used this tiny little circle from the Jolly Christmas stamp set. And finally I'm going back to the smaller circle in the Time stamp set and stamping in weathered wood, since I thought I needed some more blues in there. For my sentiment I'm using one of the stamps in the Bright Butterfly stamp set, and I'm stamping in jet black archival ink. Of course I didn't stamp straight, but if you have been following my channel for a while you already know that this is pretty normal for me. And when my panel is finally stamped, I'm adhering it to the light blue cardstock, and I'm adhering it to a large piece of the cardstock since I'm not sure of the correct measurements. By doing it this way I don't need to bother about measuring, I can just cut the cardstock to the appropriate size using the guide on my trimmer. But before I adhere the panel and start cutting, I'm using my corner jumper to round the bottom corners of the white panel, and when I finish cutting out the piece I will round the 2 bottom corners of the blue cardstock as well. And before I proceed, I'm just making sure that my stamped piece will fit on my card base, and then I'm taking my panel and I'm going through my ribbons to try and find a color that matches, and I found this light blue ribbon that I will adhere to the top of the panel. Unfortunately I don't know the brand of this ribbon since I've had it for ages. And I'm adhering my ribbon with regular tape runner and then securing it with some masking tape before I start adhering the panel to my card base. And I'm using foam squares to get a bit of dimension, but mostly because of the fact that the ribbon will make it very hard to adhere the panel flat on the card base, and I don't want the panel to become all wonky and weird. And that was my card for today. I hope you liked it, and don't forget to check out my blog for links to the rest of the blog hop, and thank you for watching.